favor. Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chris Cast. We are waiting for the season to start, but of course, before we do that, we have to see who is actually going to get into Prem. Yes, there's one spot remaining. This is the Season 23 Premiership Qualifier Decider, the final match before we begin the season fresh. And we have two teams trying to get themselves into the Premiership division of ETF2L Highlander Season 23. In one corner, we have Bad Dragons, and in the other corner, we have Weed Cake Sellers. A lot of familiar names on both rosters, a lot of former Premiership players on both rosters. So it'll be very interesting to see who wins in this best of three. I'm CJ, and tonight I'm joined by ArchRhythm on the production and Meer as my co-caster. Yes, we'll have to see as we are live now with the final decider game of the ETF2L Highlander Season 23 Premiership Qualifiers. The winner of this game will move into the Premiership division. The loser will be playing in Division 1 for the remainder of the couple of months coming up. Bad Dragons in the blue. I was about to call them Blue Dragons. Bad Dragons will be attacking first on Vigil, the first map tonight. We Cake Sellers in the red, they'll be defending. And then they'll be trying to beat the time set. This is going to be a best of three, both in maps, but also on the payload maps themselves. So best of three on this map. I'm about to see maybe for some players watching for the first time, the kind of setup we expect coming out of the teams on this map. Very, very passive holds going on from Weed Cake Sellers, but that seems to be the norm on this map. Bad Dragons, I do think, I was surprised often. Actually, these two teams going pretty close against each other in scrims. So maybe Bad Dragons have the edge based on their preseason win on this map. We'll have to see how things go as the gates have opened. TS is getting out. Sorry, Yucca is getting into position here. And you just take a look. You see where Weed Cake Sellers are. They're so far back.
Yeah, of course. Conventional on this map not to hold this first point too aggressively. You can't really afford to lose too many players here. The second hold much more favourable. Very good spawn door there. Means after second cap means much more viable to hold, pick that timer down. Of course, payload all about time.
Yeah, it all comes down to time. But the big pick there for Bad Dragons was they took down Redlix, the sniper, for Weed Cake Sellers, and with that sniper down, they just got out of there. They just did not want to hold any more on that first point without their sniper, and he's gone down again. Yucca doing a massive amount of work, taking down the level 3 sentry and getting rid of the sniper. So now Equal Ubers is going to be used by Atomir. They're moving in on the flank side, and Quarky's being thrown up into the air, but Buck is taken out. Look at the Pyro just juggling Quarky in the air. He cannot do anything, and that Uber has just gone out. And it's all just chaos right now as the players start flooding in, but there's so much damage on both sides.
Yeah, completely immobile Uber there, well shut down by the Pyro of Weed Cake Sellers. Back here into that spawn door. Players mounting a push on that hill from Bad Dragons and to get this second cap pretty quickly. Now just 1.5 minutes in.
It's so fast. It's so fast right now, and I have to give the credit to Yucca for really opening things up there. The Uber chain was absolutely awful on the side of Bad Dragons, but because of the picks that they got there, really opened things up. Fire manages to take down Lightclaw, which is going to slow down the cart a little bit, but this is mostly dead time where the cart is right now. You can't really contest it as the defenders. You just have to back themselves up. And you take a look at Yucca as well, who is already in position, ready to just giving his team some info. He's hovering around Redlix. He's going to want to go for that pick soon. He's uncloaking. He's going, but Redlix turns around just in time. So he's just cleaned up there. But Boshi has gone down to the Cow Mangler. And the Ubers are exchanged here, and again Redix is down, has not been able to get into the game right now, and look at Bad Dragons, they're getting so much cart time, they're losing players here, but they're just walking forward.
Yeah, they are, of course, a real attempt to get that cart up that ramp there, but it's just absolutely shut down by the Uber exchange coming out of Weed Cake Sellers, really trying to edge that cart up that hill there in conjunction with TS, drops down, does attempt to do them out. But it looks like they're going to get it here, edging it closer to that cap, that gun. Not quite able to watch it.
Yeah, it's gone up that ramp now, which is really important. As long as they can keep that cart alive and not rolling back, it's not going to tumble down the hill anymore. And Corky just keep going forward. Yucca's managed to get the backstab onto Buck there, but a lot of damage going down from Redwood. A lot of players dead. And again, they just have to slow their onslaught, but they just want to keep pushing here. They do not want to stop. Lightclaw getting onto the cart as well. Already there, the Pyro there, tagged up as for you. Just trying to air blast people physically away because no one cares. They're just walking onto the cart. They're going to gap. 321 for the first 3 points already. Wiethoofd Sellers are scrambling to get out here. Redwood is going to get a kill there, but he's going to take down Boshi, and then Qualky takes down Robin. The soldiers are just being traded, but it's just Bad Dragons do not want to let go of their W key. Redlix dies again, this time to Lightclaw, and he's not been able to get any time to snipe in this game, man. That's really going to make them struggle.
Yeah, of course. But just then, Bad Dragons just absolutely piling that cart, their whole combo moving forward, looking to go even further forward and trying to prevent Bad Dragons, Wiethoofd Sellers from setting up on last here now.
What do you think Wiethoofd Sellers need to do? Because at the moment, it's just been Bad Dragons push and they get the cap. Like, there has not been any sort of defense so far.
No, they definitely need to have a set up on this 4th point here. The flank, obviously very important here. The Uber, as we say, so the Uber is traded in. Pop now from Wiethoofd Sellers. Take it forward. Not now.
Yeah, they managed to again, both soldiers are the only ones who really died in the exchange. But the most important thing, I feel, is that Bad Dragons came in, they exchanged the Ubers, they got both Ubers out of the way, and that cart was being pushed. And you see where it is. It's at this corner now, which is next to the doorway, which gives it a lot more easy access with this a little bit of extra time to keep it alive. And something I've noticed on this map so often is that once you get up that ramp, that final ramp on this map, it is very, very easy to get free cap time with the Spy. Lightclaw there, just walking through the door, he's managed to get it right up to the ramp already. He's going to get taken down by Redlix. But you see Bad Dragons, they've set up camp on this far side. They're losing a few players here. Might be able to get pressured here by Buck and Redwood, who are trying to get some damage down on them. Mackie very, very weak. But Rambert's gone down to a headshot from Cloudy, so no one guarding that sentry, and he's going to get sacked by Yucca there, Meer. And this is huge.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable flank play there. Wiethoofd Sellers, Buck as well doing a very good job to stay alive. That was looked like an absolutely blistering push through the flank, and the cart nearly going up that ramp as well for Bad Dragons. The exchange happening on point. They had a lot more presence from Bad Dragons here. They just need to start to that cap. Quite keen to block one, but jumps onto it. Tries to get Citrus down, but dies to Walker as well. The cart is now up that ramp, Lightclaw edging it towards the cap. This is a surefire here. The time of 5 minutes 51. The first half.
Whew. I mean, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, that's an absolute blistering time there from Bad Dragons. Seemingly didn't allow Wiethoofd Sellers to get in there, get any decent fences going up. Their second hold, first hold, really not standing as long as you'd hope.
It just seemed that anytime Bad Dragons wanted to push, they did, and they got something out of it. There was no moment where there was any sort of defense that they were able to deny the Uber. Every Uber exchange went in the favor of Bad Dragons each time. And like you said, there was just no time gained on the second or third point, really. It was just a roll from one point to the next. A little bit of time on that second point. It took 2 Uber exchanges, but in the end, they just forced. And the thing with the spawns on this map, especially on the last point, they're so long for the defending team. You really don't want to feed any players. And as soon as they lost 1-2 players, Bad Dragons are in there with the better spawns, and they were able to just get the cap time. And they just managed to bust it in. So, yeah, it's a big ask for Wiethoofd Sellers, but there's nothing to say they can't do exactly the same, right?
Yeah. I mean, it just seemed on that first half, Bad Dragons were never on the back foot. Interestingly, on this first defense as well, they're choosing to hold aggressive. This I've not actually seen out of any team so far. Can't move forward. A bit of dead time as they try and look forward. Buck and Redwood on these tracks do get clouding pretty early. Jumps around the back. Now on to Bad Dragons, as does his gun. First hold is a surefire back out.
Yeah, you're seeing here why people don't really do a forward hold, because they lose Cloudy straight away. No sniper presence. You think how easy that was to get him down compared to the absolute nuke it took to take down Redlix earlier on, and yeah, I mean, they don't really gain anything out of it. I mean, I guess they haven't lost anything. They got out in time, but Citrus just respawning, no level 3 sentry. If weak sellers get the bit between their teeth here, they can just keep rolling this, knowing that there's no level 3 on the second point for them to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. The fragment spawns out of Bad Dragons there means that their second hill setup was a bit ropey, but fortunately for them, Wiethoofd sellers not pressuring it too hard, but now mounting a push up this side tunnel. Perhaps hesitating, just mustering his team together, getting some buffs distributed. Licks and Ace do actually go down there.
Yeah, no red licks means no sniper presence for the attacking team, and they are going to use the Uber through tunnel, which will take down the sentry pretty swiftly. However, they have a much worse Uber here. Bad Dragons getting down Mackie with a light claw there. And Atom's getting under so much pressure, goes down really, really low here. Down to about 30 HP. Robin is on the chase. Fire is lurking behind, trying to get onto the medic, and because of that, they managed to get so many kills. The ace there on the soldier manages to take down Citrus while he was carrying his sentry, so that means no engineer on third at the time being, and there's not going to be a level 3 by the time. If they start moving now, they're able to catch out. It just seems these teams, they're not very comfortable in reorganizing themselves after an Uber exchange here, Meer. As soon as the Ubers are exchanged on a point, the attacking team just walks forward and the defending team just doesn't know where to put themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Such chaos was invoked from that push there. The trade comes in, players don't know they're scrambling over each other, people walking through flanks, guns flying everywhere. Ultimately, that second point is capped by Wiethoofd. Oh, given enough time to set up on third, Dragons. Wiethoofd has taken this flank side as opposed to pushing tracks as you'd expect. From wide angle makes room for red licks there, about to take the SVS with Cloudy. Ubers are exchanged, Redwood hugely there by Fridge.
Taking down the sentry, and it just seems that Bad Dragons did not want to spread out there and try and look for some frags with that better Uber. Fridge finally getting onto the car now just to push people away. Manages to actually get a ton of damage. Finally does go down to spans, but again, this Uber exchange happens and the defending team does not know what to do. Lightclaw holds the W key, takes down Mackie, and is like, hey team, can we organize ourselves a little bit here? It's just a bit, it feels like a bit like a DM server right now. The teams are having these awkward Uber exchanges and the attacking team is just walking forward and winning. And 2 minutes 15 seconds, weak sellers have to push this final point. That's a lot of time to work with.
It certainly is. I mean, it's certainly feasible, can go either way. They're gonna have to really focus on slowing this cart down, stopping the cart, applying cart pressure constantly, as fragmenting their spawns and not allowing them to make a cohesive push, as we've seen a few of them so far.
Big Uber advantage for Atom here, 100% in the bank for him. Mackie only at 50% by the virtue of that light core kill earlier on. Boshi actually getting a few kills on the flank. Will stay alive, but Corky getting headshot by Redlicks. That would have been really, really beneficial to them if they had Uber. You know, take an exchange when demo down is going to be really big, but Cloudy gets a really crucial pick down onto Buck, so he will be alive and ready for the push by the time Mackie gets up to that 100%, but 1 minute 20 seconds, they are actually going to use the Uber now without those spawns, and they're going to drop Walker here. A lot of players dying left, right, and center, but most of them on the sides of weak sellers. Redwood is going to manage to take down that sentry. Citrus died, and no engineer to protect that sentry, but Walker and Citrus are still on the respawn key. Redwood will die for it, but he will spawn. The attack team has these better respawns. 60 seconds left on the clock. This could go either way right now. I don't think there's going to be much time to wait and build an Uber or anything like that. And they're just going to walk forward here, Meer. They're walking onto the point. A lot of players dying. Redlicks, Robin, Buck, all in the death. But Umfew is on the cart right now, just trying to keep it alive. But I don't think it's going to be enough.
Such a well-coordinated push from Wiethoofd sellers there. They piled so many players onto that cart, seemingly made up so much ground, but the damage was just too great. The focus fire from Bad Dragon was unbelievable, and they dropped like flies onto that cart, unable to get it up that ramp. Can go either way, but here Wiethoofd sellers, with only 25 seconds left, need to just put in one good push round.
While she's jumping around, he's trying to be annoying. There is a fist kill there. Citrus snapping that gunslinger and taking fire out of the game, and it is going to be finishing off. I'm going to sound biased, but that first kill during that exchange was a Cloudy taking down Redlix. That gave him the freedom of last to just snipe whoever he wanted, and there was no attacking presence from any sniper from weak cake sellers, and then everyone just focused the cart. They knew that they had to get time on the cart. Really well played by Robin, just jumping in there deep to try and make some space for his team. But in the end, like you said, Meer, the focus fire from Bad Dragon's just proving too crucial. And they will take this first round, but it looks like we could have some pretty fast times going on tonight. And they posed me the question, hey, what if a team plays aggro? And I say, well, these days, I don't really see teams playing aggro. I don't see this forward hold. And Bad Dragons did it. So whether they know something we don't, but I don't feel it worked out too well for them. We'll have to see if they're going to do exactly the same here as we are into the second half of this first map. Weak Cake Sellers are down a round. If they don't win this round, then we'll be moving on to product, and there'll be a map behind. But they will be in the blue, attacking first, trying to set as fast a time as possible. And Bad Dragons in the red, 1 round to the good. They're defending, and then they will try to beat that time, and they'll be looking to try and seal this map out as quickly as possible. And again, Meer, it looks like they want to do this forward hold. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it certainly didn't work out for them last time, but a bit of feedback between those two maps means that they can learn from their mistakes and certainly back out to second a bit earlier here. The delay in backing out on this first point last time meant their hill hold just wasn't quite up to scratch, with the flank of Weed Cake Sellers coming in and flushing them out pretty quickly, meaning they were exiled that third point in the first half of this game.
I do feel like Weed Cake Sellers could have punished that forward hold a lot worse. The fact that they realized where it was, and then they killed Citrus and they killed Cloudy, and they took down the sentry. I feel like if with that knowledge, they could have done more. But Quarky is going to get the first pick of the game there. Nice little sticky trap will take down Redwood, and Umfew actually going down to Boshi. So a couple of players out of the equation already. Robin trying to go for a high jump here, but can't quite do it because of the way that the map geometry is positioned. So maybe this forward hold is the 5-head strat we've been waiting for, man. Maybe we just don't know.
Yeah, Mackie sitting in the spawn here, Buffy over his flank, looking like sack waves here. This bomb's behind, a nice bomb does do some huge damage to Citrus there. It's going painfully weak. Bridge goes down as well. Falls too. Redwood being pretty aggressive, trying to get Citrus or his gun down. Fails to do so in this instance. So far forward now, with the Bad Dragons combo just staring at it. Do choose to hold a bit more passive here, or perhaps even back out to second.
See, the route they're taking to get out to second is significantly longer than with the passive hold. You see Robin already managing to get into a position to bomb on the medic, and was well protected there. So clearly these guys have practiced this transition, and they've managed to get things done. Fire misses the stab onto Bosch. That would have been huge as his banner's coming out, throwing out those mini crit damage. Rockets and fire is going everywhere, and it looks like a lot of the players are going in the tunnel for Weak Cake Sellers. Maybe another tunnel push? No, they're rotating now. Maybe they're just trying to tear people up, get them out of position. They're going to come in through main. Robin with the big jump as well, going in deep. He's going to get launched by the sentry, and the Uber Exchange is going to come down. Redwood, Robin, Wambert, they're all going down here, and it looks to be much, much better for the Russian side.
An extremely aggressive hold there from Bad Dragons. The trade comes out from Weed Cake, and unfortunately their code does fall. No casualties for Bad Dragons just there. They've got to be the Weed Cake Sellers will recuperate themselves and attempt another push up this hill, but 60% away from Uber on both teams now. It's certainly not going to be quick. They're edging this cart forward now, but not without some resistance from Bad Dragons. Buck attempts to flank up that side tunnel, does go down to Fridge. Time to burn while they wait for these Ubers to come up.
One thing I've noticed, Redlix is on 0 points and Cloudy is at 1 point. They're both at the bottom of their teams right now. This is not a sniper game at the moment. This is just constant back and forth. You see Boshi running the buff banner on the flank and just getting aggressive, and the teams just want to go in for these trades. Redwood is going to get dropped there in this Uber, and oh no, so does Buck, so does Redlix.
Oh no.
Just cleaning up, and that is not a good Uber exchange. And we talked about how important these Uber exchanges were, and that just went wrong for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mackie just drops those 3 players there. Redlix going down late as well. Does mean they're going to have to reset and attempt to push up this hill a bit later, but a very aggressive hold now from Bad Dragons. Get the jump on Weak Cake Seller's buck. Yeah, headshot from Cloudy. Does get SVS by Redlick.
That's really going to open things up for Redlicks. Now he's got 20 seconds to get himself into a good position. You can see he's going on this far side, which is going to be a great angle onto Atom here. Fire is in for time! Doesn't matter, he's going to get the backstab. Yes, big kill there. Mackie only at 85%. A lot of players dying here for Weak Cake Sellers. They'll be happy as long as they can keep their medic alive. Yucca is actually cleaning house here, and they're going to get the force!
Oh, wow.
Fridge just walks forward and gets the force. Oh, this is Highlander 101, people. If you kill the enemy medic, you know that you're going to have 8 gamers in your face momentarily. And Weak Cake Sellers just couldn't keep their med well enough protected. So essentially, this was an Uber trade. They traded Ubers, and now we're back to where we were before. But that was a much better. That's probably the best defensive hold we've seen so far in this series.
Yeah, certainly. We see Bad Dragons holding pretty aggressively in this house here. Perhaps poised to flank behind the combo here, and did. Uber's much even at this time, but attempts to get in. Does get taken down by Cloudy. Base being made for Cloudy here as the demo spans around the corner. Wambert mounts up, gets Redlicks down. Cloudy also going down. No snipers up, and so it goes down. He's not had much opportunity to set up here.
This is a really aggressive hold coming in from Bad Dragons. The Uber has been used early on by Weak Cake Sellers, and the counter Uber is going to be much better. You can see Spans going in from the flank, trying to get some stuff done here. I fear that if Bad Dragons wipe, then they're just going to get rolled all the way to last, but it seems that this hold is working out for them. They're getting some good damage down on the gamers, but no Citrus. Atom is very weak. They're going to have to back it up here. Buck versus Walker with the long-range heavy spam, and Buck is going to finally die with Corky's stick. He's on a 5 kill streak right now, and now they're going to back up here. So again, we're seeing these aggressive holds coming out of Bad Dragons here. They really want to get the pressure on early before settling into a more passive hold.
Yeah, Bad Dragons there just did such an excellent job of holding that high ground. Really applied a lot of pressure to Weird, putting them in there, letting them get any sort of position or their drive push there. Now we do see Weird Cake this flank side ground. They do lose Walker and TS now, but taking a lot of position here. So close to Uber Weird Cake Sellers, with Redlicks taking out Lightclaw as well. Should be seeing a pretty quick Uber trade into the cart now at the top of the hill, about to be capped. It looks like Atom got forced there by Ace.
Yeah, that was just absolute crunch there. They had Redlicks in so much room. He was able to just take pot shots at whoever he wanted, and then it was Spans and Robin who came in behind, just crunched them, got the force onto Atom, and that means this Uber is coming straight into last. But the problem is, Meer, the car is so far behind. They can get the kills now, but they're losing players. Walker is just taking names, and there were 2 players alive. It's just Wambert pushing the car with Fire lurking around as well. This is the problem. You cannot Uber in that deep, that early, when the car is nowhere to be found. If the car's that far behind, you have to wait until the car is in a position for you to get aggressive and then take your Uber in. But they just wasted this huge advantage. They end up wiping. Atom 85% in the bank, huge Uber advantage over Mackie now, and Bad Dragons have just been given a last hold here.
Yeah, Weak Cake Sellers broke rule number 1 of Highlander again. Attempted to use their Uber advantage a bit too liberally there to their spawn, but it's certainly not easy to lock out those so close to the resup cabinets. There's so many players there, not a winnable situation. Now,
some big kills there though. Fire. Fridge and Corky are down now. Redlicks will die to Bosch. He's still running that buff banner, but take a look at Wambert. He's just slowly but surely pushing this car, and then they're going to get forced, and somehow they've lost 5 players. And Weak Cake Sellers are all over the spawn, and it's just down to Walker and Atom, who are, to be fair to them, getting a lot of kills. Walker up to a 5k right now. Atom surviving. They've managed to get this car all the way up to the ramp, but that was a very, very strange turn of events there. Mackie will die as well, so again, Atom is going to have this advantage, but they just pushed all the way around them. They kind of like almost backcapped.
Yeah, that certainly did look like fight that was favouring Weak Cake Sellers there, but right at the end there. Walker takes the heels of his medic, managed to absolutely mow down 5 players. The weak cake sellers there as they attempt to back out. It is now rolling back, so Weedcake did tap it at the one of their players, no doubt.
Cloudy down, which means Redlix has a lot of room, and he is looking towards the main area right now, and he gets Boshi down. Maybe not seems like a huge pick to get the soldier, but you know, they're getting a lot more kills on the side of that. Look how close the cart is. No buff banner to worry about. The Uber is going to be used, and they actually have to stand on the cart to buy themselves a little bit more time. Maki is nowhere close, but it's only Yucca and Atom, and this Ubered Spy is going to have to revolver down a lot of gamers. Redlix will take down Atom. Yucca is standing on the cart, just uncloaking and cloaking, just in buys. He's buying so much time for them. That's at least 10 seconds
Oh my
extra.
word. Spy solo Uber is a new meta, I think. That was unbelievable. Unfortunately, Quark and Walker just went down before they popped Uber there, just on 95% when they went down. Players piling in from weak cake sellers, but Mr. MVP TS manages to swave them off for some time, extending that time 8 minutes 47 seconds, one of the slowest times of the map.
Yeah, it's the slowest, I mean, of the 2 we've seen today. Very slow. I would argue weak cake sellers would have pushed faster in their attacking phase in the previous round as well. So a lot has changed, and maybe like we predicted, second round is a bit slower. But Bad Dragons, having pushed in, you know, just under 6 minutes in the first round, will probably be feeling quite confident that they can just repeat the same that they did last round and be able to just, you know, win out this map. And I feel that weak cake sellers defensively have just been doing the same that most teams are doing, whereas Bad Dragons have come up with maybe their own strats or different strats away from the norm, and potentially that's caught weak cake sellers off guard. They're just not quite, you know, prepared to take that on. We'll have to see what happens here, as we are seeing a similar setup that we saw before. Boshi jumping around, Fire just getting some intel, and Yucca again getting into position.
Yeah, certainly to extend the attacking time of Bad Dragons beyond their 8.5 minute threshold there, they've definitely got to get some solid holds where they otherwise wouldn't. Of course, first and second so critical here. A second hill holds can definitely attacking time quite majorly there. Cloudy does get spans down. Redlake's also getting Walker from Bad Dragons there. Has been stunted in extent. They've brought their medic out of spawn here, so perhaps looking to take a close Uber trade once their heavy's back with them.
Boshi is in, gets a lot of damage down. Doesn't actually get a kill though. No sniper kill, no NG kill, no medic force. Redwood down to about 22 HP, but he's not going to be too worried. And actually looking fairly comfortable here, WCS. They are just chilling. You know, they're able to wrangle that sentry onto the cart and just cause problems. And Citrus trying his best to try and get that cart forward. And eventually that sentry will go down. Combination of the spam from Quarky and a body shot there from Cloudy will take down the gun, but it took them, you know, nearly a minute and a half here. We'll have to see. The real important thing here, though, Meer, is of course the second hold. We saw very, very different holds going on in terms of time, and if weak cake sellers have a similar hold to they did before, it could be all over within the next few minutes.
Yeah, but we've seen Bad Dragons taking this hill, looking to take a nice quick Uber trade. Weak cake sellers don't actually have their gun up yet. We're denying these players Walker commit, drop down to cart there. There's a lot of cap. It's looking quite hard for weak cake sellers to get a solid hold set up. They kill those flankers and stop this cart from rolling forward. Did back out first pretty early there. Set up eventually.
They're trying to get forward with this conch, but it's not really providing much aggression out of the flank. With no sentry, Redlix is actually just peeking the car, and Lyclaw's he's getting cap time, and this is weak cake sellers. They're caught in between things here. Do they try and block the car? Do they stay in? And Bad Dragons want to walk forward, and weak cake sellers are not set up for a holding, but they are getting the kills. They're getting so much damage. Cloudy, Citrus, Lyclaw all going down. Boshi is extremely weak and can't really go for any sort of aggressive jump, and that has allowed weak cake sellers to move forward again and reclaim this high ground. And there we go. Wambut has that level 2 sentry up. Got the dispenser up, And they are in a position now back to some sort of normality. Lord Lyclaw just holding that W key, takes down Redlix, and no sniper for the defensive side. That's going to be pretty big.
Lyclaw, yeah, did an excellent job there getting Redlix down, stop up from rolling back, and off the back of that his team looks to push in. Uber trade taken on hill, denied by Umfu again. The bomb in from Ace there does get reflect denied by Fridge. We've got definite control over this hill, and the cart is also capped. Weedcake Sellers now resigning himself to a third hold block, holding in a pretty aggro position here, hoping to catch some people out as they push through. Walker about to waltz into him perhaps today.
Buck is about to do the biggest flank you'll see in 2021 so far. No one knows he is behind. He's got that Thomas Slab, so he can rev up all day. He's got to go for the medic here. He starts gunning down Atom. He's taking damage. Atom doesn't know what is going on. But Cloudy is the one to end that. And Redlix has also gone down too. There's not been much pressure on this third point at all because they just didn't have the players in position. Red was just gone down very late on as well. Huge advantage here, there. 99% for Atom right now. He ticks it over to 100.
Yeah, Weedcake Sellers, they're not confident enough to set up on third. Their engineer's been building on fourth this entire time. They can hold it quite. 4.5 minute time to push last is more than enough for Bad Dragons here. Attempts to pick off some players on cart, but does back out with his core survivability really important here. Slow the cart progress down. Looks like Bad Dragons are mounting up, putting all their combo along this track area. Do Uber in. Some excellent coordination with this there. Bridge just piling in. Redwood isolated from his team, does get picked off as well. So many people on the cart for Bad Dragons. This cart is absolutely blistering forward.
Yeah, it's not stoppable now. The spawn waves are too long. Players for Bad Dragons are in position. If we excuse the fact that Mackie died on second and a lot of players died on second and Buck was caught behind and everything like that, the third hold was never really going to happen for Weedcake Sellers. It wasn't going to happen. But the explosive classes on this map, it is going to be interesting. Like you said, Redwood dying more but putting out over 500 DPM. Corky, getting the same amount of kills and surviving more, which is going to be very, very important as we are live now, it seems, on this map. So this is the second map of the final deciding game of the Season 23 Premiership qualifiers for ETF2L Highlander. Bad Dragons in the blue and Weedcake Sellers in the red. Robin is going to be the first person to get a kill. They're going to take down Cloudy. There's a no sniper, which is one of the most important classes on this map, Meer.
Yeah, definitely. Sniper giving him a lot of position can certainly open up a lot of room for your team. A constant anxiety for the enemies. And as it stands, as is Cloudy. Mid take for Bad Dragons, just their spam and focus fire was excellent over that. Shutting Redwood down, of course. For you crashing up there, also not quite ideal for that first mid fight there.
Yeah, the big thing there was Yucca managing to take down both Redlix and Redwood. So going both for the two reds on the red team. Demo and Sniper going down. Redwood's actually going to win the sniper battle against Cloudy there, and the Uber exchange is going to happen, and that sniper advantage could come into the favor of Weedcake Sellers as things start to die down. But Redwood's going to die to the pipes of Corky. No Demo to really spearhead that attack, and Lyclaw will win the DM battle. And I think this flank is just dangerous. You see Redlix actually surfs a rocket away from Boshi. He's on the high ground. Corky getting some damage down onto Buck, and these Bad Dragon players, they just want to get forward and get kills where they can. And in the lead by about 50 seconds here, Equaluba's in there. I don't think we're going to have much chance for a breather in this map.
No, definitely not. Just the constant pressure applied from Bad Dragons is definitely a source of anxiety for Weedcake Sellers there. Of course, Quarky and Boshi going so ag on that cliff, not letting Weedcake Sellers get comfortable at all as they do mount up a push. Now just 20% away from Uber. Spam Boshi in a very good position here, getting huge damage off on the combo. Ace commits in, does get onto Atom, does actually force him there. To try and force Weedcake Sellers here to their Uber, which they managed to do so, and he's got nobody with him. He walks onto point on his own. Does eventually link up with Spans, doing what he can, but with so many numbers down from Bad Dragons, it should be a nice point retake there for Wiethoofd.
Yeah, they are going to get the cap. I mean, as a medic main, that moment where you're Ubered and you look around and you see no one, it's kind of like treading water in the middle of the ocean, and you're just like, wait a minute, where's the beach? You're just kind of like, oh no, what's going on? You're looking for someone to latch onto, but Mackie did find someone in the end. He was actually very weak, down to about 50 HP at 95% Uber. So Bad Dragon's an opportunity lost there, but they are trying to get some cap time on the point right now. Lightclaw is just pressuring that cap point, getting the beam as they are getting kills. Unfew gets taken down by Yuka, and Redwood gunned down by Walker. Redlix seems to have the upper hand in this sniper v sniper battle at the moment as Cloudy goes down and has his respawn time extended by virtue of that cap. Remember, if you are in control of the cap point in King of the Hill, your respawn time is longer than the enemy teams, and if you cap the point while one of your players is dead, then their respawn is going to be longer, and Redlix is able to just fire up a couple of headshots that takes down Citrus, and I think Wiethoofd is just ready to push across, and they're going to use this Uber. Atom is going to use it in return. Corky trying to get forward. It's just absolute carnage everywhere. Redlix is still getting some kills. Walker and Corky on the point. Buck still wants to walk forward. Nobody's stopping. Robbie goes down to Cloudy. This is absolutely manic right now, and it does look like Wiethoofd is going to have control of the high ground for the time being.
Cloudy does an excellent job of killing Redlix there in that SBS. Certainly going to open an opportunity for Bad Dragons to walk onto this point and flush out Wiethoofd sellers who do now back out and play around the snipers from both teams here. They know how it is to keep them up. They know how important it is to create that anxiety to the enemy team. They know how much ground that class can make.
The thing is, as much pressure and as much damage and as many kills as they are potentially getting here, they haven't got the cap. And Yoka, there we go, backstabs Buck and manages to pistol down Oakview. That means nobody is going to finish off this cap. Overtime already for Bad Dragons. And look at Bosch, he just launches himself in, takes down Mackie. No heals now for Wiethoofd sellers. It's all about the cleanup now. Walker walks across the point and starts taking some names. And when you look at the times there, Meer, that does not look good for Wiethoofd sellers right now.
No, only managing to get 37 seconds worth of cap time there. Wiethoofd sellers have got to be disappointed with that. Certainly in that last push attempt, this forward Buck ran onto the point as a solo talisman. Does get taken down pretty quickly, and the stragglers cleaned up with relative Bad Dragons.
Cloudy will open the kills this time around instead of dying, and he takes down Redwood. No demo, no pyro, no soldier. It's
no
not
playing.
looking good. No, absolutely no players right now. Spans also goes down. Redlix is going to get taken down by Cloudy as well. And that was just absolute carnage. They lose their flank, but this flank, Boshi and Lightclaw are doing so much work that the cleanup happens. It doesn't matter if they die. They're able to win these caps. They're able to get these points. Redwood dies again to Cloudy. He's already on a 3 kill streak. Round's going to be going for about 20-30 seconds. No Redwood, no Buck. The combo is not in it for Wiethoofd sellers right now. Equal Ubers though, Meer, and maybe this is a platform for Wiethoofd sellers to just calm down, chill a bit, get some picks, and start pressuring some sort of angle.
Yeah, Bad Dragons, their flank did such a good job there picking up some early frags, but a follow-up from the pick class. The counter Uber does come out of Dragons. Unfortunately, don't manage to convert the frags off the back of it, just managed to pick up the TS on the side of Bad Dragons. Spans now stacking onto this point with one, but Buck standing just behind in support. Pretty quick flip-flop retake there from Wiethoofd sellers, but not without contest from Bad Dragons. Already just 3 players up from Wiethoofd sellers.
The thing with crits is you either need to know you have a huge advantage or it needs to be a surprise. And in Highlander, when you have a spy able to check miniguns at all times, it's rarely going to be a surprise. And that counter was just too strong. Mackie did also go down to Cloudy, who was up to a 5 kill streak. So, you know, starting to enter this game, and like you said, that point just flip-flopped very, very quickly. You know, 12 seconds gained off of that entire push together. Huge advantage for Atom here. He's about to tick over to 100% Uber. Mackie's back over 60%. He's still running that crit streak, so they're feeling that this is the play to make, and the Uber's going to be used. Corky just jumps forward, absolutely nukes, but Mackie surfs the sticky away into main, manages to survive, and in reality, only Infew and Redlix are going to die out of that Uber, and you know, now this is where they have to worry about the crits. Now they have to start thinking, where are we going to stand to not die to that 3 times damage about to come in?
Yeah, definitely, of course, that crit's coming in. Cloudy does get shut down by Relics there. That's certainly going to be a nice comfort for Wiethoofd. The sniper is so easily able to shut down crits Ubers, just picking off either the medic or the demo man.
Oh,
But Buck and
Yucca.
Recklix go down to TS there. That's an incredible push from him. At
He's
this
getting
point,
so
despite
many
their players
kills.
being down.
He gets another one.
Oh no.
Meer, what's happening? Hold me, what's going on?
He's running circles around him.
He's absolutely doing it. Yeah, you hate to see it. And this crits is still in the hands of Mackie. They haven't used it because they just haven't had a player to use it on. And now Atom has 100% Uber, so they're going to have to hope that they can get a force or, you know, get something, or even a drop out of this crit. Sticky Cloudy's going to take down Redlix. This is, again, the point swaps over with just because of a few seconds, and then Corky just gratefully takes this Uber and says, you guys aren't Uber, I'm just going to nuke you now. Gets so much damage down onto the combo. Mackie can't stay in, he's only got Buck for company right now. And this isn't a DM thing, Meer. It's just, tactically, they're dropping the wrong players at the wrong times.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly to the credit of Cloudy on the side of Bad Dragons, he's playing so well around his combo. As I say, Redlix there, just picking players off, staggering the spawn, not letting Wiethoofd have a cohesive push. This one now, but Bomb comes in from Bosch. He does do huge damage to that combo there, gets picked off by Wambut's gun. Spans also takes TS out, the class is down now for Bad Dragons. Wiethoofd can push across with a level of anxiety removed, no doubt.
Yes, definitely. Getting Corky out of the game there. Really big. They are actually going to be able to cap it with 4 seconds left on the timer there for Bad Dragons, which is actually really good because it means that there's no overtime. That gives you a little bit more scope for a fight. Let's say Bad Dragons come in here and they manage to get the cap. If it was in overtime, it would be an automatic round win for them. But that's not the case. And Redlix is going to take down Cloudy. So sniper superiority right now. And that's going to help as they take down Lightboy. He's not going to be involved in this Uber. The crits is going to come out though. Mackie's still on the crits. Bocce with a huge jump. Gets so much damage onto May. But can they clean up these kills? Redwood is dead. Buck is dead. Unfew is going to go down as well. Redlix is going to take down Corky. He's managing to just reel off as many shots as he can here. But is it going to be enough? Bad Dragons walking forward. They've lost Atom. Mackie is still alive with the crits. They are going to get this cap. They are going to force overtime.
Wambut comes in behind. Anon Walker, he had no idea he was there. I don't even think Wambut knew
Oh no! The 1v1!
where he was coming from. Oh no! Manages to save his medic just in time there. TS goes down. They are going to take this point. Of course, overtime now for Bad Dragons. They just need to cap the point once more. Just 1 minute 30 left remaining for Wiethoofd now.
Yeah, I mean, this looks bad for Wiethoofd, but all it takes is, you know, a big kill or a failed push from Bad Dragons here, and they're the ones in control. And, you know, at the end of the day, they still have control of the point. Mackie has the advantage. It is, of course, crits. Atom is taking a little bit of damage here. But Redwood goes down. Redwood goes down. It's going to have to be the laser beams from Buck. He's going to take down
they popped
Walker.
it on Buck. Takes down TS as well, supporting his medic, stopping the players from piling in, but Bad Dragons are going to overwhelm them here. Just 4 players up for Wiethoofd, including Mackie. Health not good enough. Bad Dragons pile in, stack the cap. Round 2 goes to them. Do you think we're going to see a reverse
No,
sweep here, CJ?
I can't see. You've got crits. Why aren't you defending the point, Meer? What's going on? What's happening here? They try to kill the players behind the point, and Lightclaw's just sort of watching everything go around him. It's like a reverse P, you know, reverse C9. It's just like, I'm going to cap while you guys do something else. On to our third mid-fight of this map, and it could potentially be the last mid-fight of this map and this entire series. A lot of frags going down. Redwood and Buck getting just eliminated out of the equation straight away, but Redlix is going to take down Cloudy, so he's going to be able to pop some heads up. You've seen him doing so far on this map. Bad Dragons, though, they just have the bigger W keys, it seems. They are just the ones, they don't care what's going on elsewhere, they just want to walk forward and shoot some gamers.
Yeah, pretty decisive mid there in favour of Bad Dragons. Both medics surviving there, still up on the crits Kriegers. Mackie does pop it on Redwood, taking the point. Uber is popped by Bad Dragons. They're piling onto this point here. Redwood only able to pick up Citrus off the back of that contest there. He's surrounded by none of his teammates now.
That feels like that's going to be extremely frustrating for them. You know, when you're running crits to mid, you know you're going to get it earlier. You know you have that small window to use it to try and eliminate the enemy medic before he gets to you, but or at least get enough kills that you can win the DM fight afterwards. Now they're doing what they have to do. Go in for the dry bush. Cloudy is going to kill Robin somehow with the soldier in his face, and then he takes down Red and expands. It's going to get burnt to a crisp by Fridge, and they are going to get the point here, Meer, but they lose 7 players for it, and Mackie's going to have to run away with a heavy for company, and yeah, they basically gain a few seconds off of that.
Yeah, what seemingly was a very coordinated push for Wiethoofd there. They just committed their players, then bombed right into the center of Bad Dragons, but the focus fire was just so huge from then. They were just unable to convert any frags off the back of it. Bad Dragons absolutely sweep up, and they do actually Uber on their side of point here. Away with 100% Kritzkrieg there, looking to reuse in. Not many players up now from Wiethoofd. Bad Dragons going pretty aggressive, but now resigning themselves to a more conservative mid-cap, or rather.
Is that BM, Meer? Is that BM Ubering on your opponent's side of the map?
I think it might. I think it might be.
Yeah.
I'd be fuming. I'd be probably boiling, I think.
Absolutely fuming, yeah. I mean, Redlix gets taken down by Yuka, and that's allowed Cloudy to reel off a few headshots. He's taken down, and then takes down Redwood. Robin's going to get cleaned up by Lightclaw as he tries to launch himself forward to try and get that sniper out of the equation. But with 1 minute left on the clock here, it's not looking great for Weak Sellers. They have to get themselves into this game, and Redlix is trying that. Yuka down, Lightclaw down, but then Cloudy stops him. So, Redlix actually says in chat, nice shot. So yeah, it's they need to find an opening here, Meer, and Atom has 100% Uber. They need a drop on this man somehow. They're walking forward. Wamba is the one who actually gets the force. The engineer just saying, screw you guys, I'm walking forward and doing it myself. Walker gets so much damage onto Mackie. He's hiding in the pocket here. He's at 85%. This crits could be the thing that keeps them in this game somehow. 4 versus 6 right now. But Bad Dragons just have the position. They're not scared to walk forward.
Yeah, I think I've seen Wamba on Bad Dragon's side of point more than on his own. He's flanked twice now onto the point. Does manage to force that in that instance. But Bad Dragon is just mounting a hold around it. Cloudy now on an 8 kill streak. He gets bucked down as well. Boshi and Lightclaw absolutely sweeping out the flank as well. Let's push onto point with their crits. Don't manage to get too many kills off the back of it.
It's one of the most depressing things to see running crits. Using a crits and your crits target just gets insta headshot, and then Robin trying to throw some crit rockets around, and there's a pyro, and that is going to be a quick, crisp, clean 3-0 on this map for Bad Dragons. That means they're going to take both maps, and we're not even going to see a third map. No upwards today, guys. No upward today. You'll have to wait until the regular season for that, because Bad Dragons will be going into Prem, not dropping around in this tie. Weak sellers will have to lick their wounds and try and get promoted the old-fashioned way by winning Division 1. How would you rate their chances against the big dogs in the season? You know, the STCKs, the Envisions. How do you think they're going to fare this season?
Bad Dragons definitely one for the P's. A very DM-heavy team. I think they can fare well against Failer and perhaps the bottom half of the table teams. I think they should put in a pretty solid performance. Yeah, just see what we'll have to wait and see what happens with them.
We will have to see. Chriscast is going to be the place to be if you want to find out, because we will have all of the action from ETF2L Highlander Season 23 next few weeks in the regular season, moving into playoffs to try and be crowned champion. Will SCCK manage to defend their title? It will be a new team on the block being able to wrestle that trophy from their grasp. We'll have to find out. Before that, though, we do have some more gameage in other game modes. We have the GG Tour locked and loaded $600 prize pool. That is next weekend, January the 30th and 31st. If you want to see some 66 action and see which teams take away the prize money. Of course, if you want to support Critscast in other ways, you can subscribe. You can support us on our various social medias, like on Twitter, join our Discord, check out our Patreon, or even look at some merch we've got, which has some amazing TF2 and Critscast related items. And also thank you to Meer for casting tonight and ArchRhythm for doing all of the production in the background. Hope you guys enjoyed the match tonight, and we'll be seeing you soon for more TF2 action. Have a good night.
Hi, old beaver! Away!